Alright, don't much like tag videos, but yeah, I'll do this one because I kind of want to earn a morphine stripe. One of his videos, he suggested people need to do that, so I'm going to do it. Movies, that's even a weirder subject. It's even not even a very good subject for tags, just because people just say, yes, okay, here's a list of 5 movies, and that's it. And yeah, okay, but it's impossible, right? I mean, you can't really rank movies. So anyway, just for the people who can't stand me, want to get this over with, I'll just give you a quick list of the movies I'm going to talk about. Little Big Man, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Inherit the Wind, 12 Angry Men, One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'll throw in Apocalypse Now, and Catch-22, and Dr. Strangelove, and maybe something else here and there. But to me, it's not so much about favorite movies or best movies, or, it's like movies that had the most impact on your psychology. The ones that did something for you. And sort of a subject I wanted to get to anyway, as I sort of want to explore the whole psychology of human beings. I mean, because it is very curious that we sort of start from the same place, this thing that just pops into this world. And very rapidly we end up getting further and further away from each other. I mean, we do fill this orb of humanity thing or whatever. And it is just strange how much distance there is between us. It's so hard to find anybody that you don't have something to dislike about or something to like about. And but there's just such it's surprising. I won't say amazing, but it's just hard to comprehend how we can manifest so much diversity. I mean, the world is incredibly complex, and there's zillions of things in it, and so yes, we can acquire a different taste and a different mannerism and a different personality and all that stuff, but it still does surprise me. It's hard for my brain to comprehend how we do become so incredibly diverse. I mean, even when we grow up in the same neighborhood or the same culture, the same everything, and we just end up on opposite ends of that human whatever parabola, whatever the shape of it is. Alright, so anyway, so these movies I'll describe just because they were movies that really, when I saw them, they just did something to me, and they surprised me or whatever. And so the biggest surprise I'd say was Little Big Man. That movie just amazed me when I watched it the first time, and then I kept watching it and watching it. But the first time you watch it is when it really gets you, because it does surprise you. It does do things that you say, that didn't just happen. I mean, that didn't happen in this movie. I sort of look at it as like the funniest, saddest movie ever made. It's like not the funniest movie ever made, but it's the funniest, saddest, tragic movie ever made. Or vice versa. Dustin Hoffman is amazing, but he always is. But there's just so much in it. The characters in the movie are just, the casting or whatever, it's just all perfect. It's just it's just an incredible movie. And so I'll just throw in there, just to mention another Dustin Hoffman movie, just because he's so good, that just wasn't, it was a throwaway kind of movie, but the movie Hero is a good movie too. So if you just want to see a lighter movie, that's a good one. So anyway, the second movie I'll talk about, it's not really the second one on the list, is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Another Western. I like Westerns, so I'll throw in a couple other Western names. Other Clint Eastwood movies that I think were really excellent was A Few Dollars More. I thought it was so much better than the first version, for a few dollars. And The Outlaw Josey Wales, really good movies. But The Good and the Bad and the Ugly had everything in it. It really did have the good, the bad, and the ugly. There was just so much humanness in it, in the story. The idea of human beings using each other but finding something to appreciate in each other. Enemies and allies at the same time. I'm not going to go into I don't mean to say I like the movie because it was psychological. I mean, the psychology was subtle, and it just kind of subtly affected how I looked at human relationships. It was just a great movie. I mean, it just Civil War. I mean, it had this backdrop of all kinds of imbecility that just made you think and made you appreciate things, and that's all I'd say. It was cinematically good and all that crap. I mean, it's probably not going to measure up to today's standards, but you can't beat the story or the acting or you know, for its time, it was just a work of art. Inherit the Wind, not a brilliantly made movie. It's a great story, has some great lines in it. Maybe it just meant something to me because I was an atheist, and this was a movie about atheism, basically, and about the right to think outside of conformity. And Spencer Tracy's, you know, he's a great actor, and but the surprise was Gene Kelly. I mean, he didn't do any singing and dancing, but he was really good, I thought, and he had a lot of the best lines in the movies. You know, something about being hated for his detestability, or loved for his detestability, and admired for his whatever. But it was just, you know, lots of good lines in it. It was well written. Just good movie. And it just, but like I said, it meant something to me personally. When I saw it, I needed something like that, something to say, it's okay not to be one of them. You know, it's okay to stand up and say no and all that crap. And it's one of those kind of movies that's just about somebody saying no, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to think, and I'm not going to play the game, and there's consequences, and you know, and all that stuff. But in the end, they win, sort of. So it was sort of like, you know, it was a nice fantasy anyway. The one Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I mean, it's just, you know, you can't. These are movies that's like a classic piece of stuff. You have to see this, and so it reminds me of Apocalypse Now, which is another movie I'll just throw in there. Just, you got to see it. I mean, I don't know if it's the greatest this or the greatest that or any of this other stuff, but it's just it's a movie you have to see. You have to experience it, or you really don't. You're not. You really don't know what it is to be human till you've seen it, I guess. I don't know. It sounds stupid, but it's, to me anyway, it's just, it's automatic. You have to see that friggin' movie. And One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is the same kind of movie. You just have to see it to kind of know our culture, to know where we are, what we are. It's just a great story. It's and you know, it's the actor thing. Jack Nicholson was just so good, and but all the, you know, it was all good again. I mean, again, but it was just, I don't know. You just can't. There's movies that have great finishes, and this one finished great. It started great, it middle great, and it finished great. So what can I say? So going beyond the 5, but you really can't end there. There's just too many movies. Catch-22. It's just brilliant again. I mean, it's just such a great. I read the book first, and then to see the movie, it was so different than my perception that I had from the book. But they were both great. I mean, they're just. You know, it was a great movie. It's just fantastic mind tricks and paradoxes and imbecilities, and you know, it was just brilliantly written. So I mean, it's just, you have to see it. It's just a great movie. And then Dr. Strangelove, you know, Peter Sellers was just, you know, he was incredible. Played 3 characters in the movie, and you know, you almost didn't know he was playing the 3 characters. I mean, you almost didn't recognize him. It was just unbelievable movie. You know, there's just so many scenes in it. You know, the Slim Pickens, you know, flying the